Okay, the last video I went over with you when you had a loud motor and it sounded like you had a box of rocks inside your motor. And I told you most likely that would be the gear is busted that's associated with the 130 DC little motor inside there. But also you get this kind of noise right here too. See this? Hear that clink, clink, clink? And I don't know if it's coming out on the camera or not, but the wheels stop from moment to moment. Now, when you get that, it's most likely going to be the axle gear. So let's take a look at that. Back up a little bit. There we go. Oh, this is, by the way, this is the pushing coach for Talking Percy. When I mean pushing, what it means is the engine is back here, and all Percy is electronics for the voice. All right, let's take that out. Got to get these little guys out of here. Take these little screws off that hold that little plate to keep the battery from touching the leads that go from the battery to the motor. They're right underneath that plate. Alright, nothing wrong with the motor. Set this aside. This is the culprit right here, I'm imagining. Let me hit it with some dust off to get... When I say dust off, I mean just canned air. Alright, let's zoom in a little bit here. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. And see if we can find the broken... Let's move this out of the way so it don't... We'll probably find the broken gear here in just a second. Look down in the, look between the gears. There it is. That is the broken gear. That is causing us the, what had happened is the teeth now are not the same distance apart. They're a little wider apart when they're matching the other gear, and that makes it skip. Okay, how do you fix this? We'll do this real quick. Come back out. All right, you have to get this off. Okay, take the wheel off. Now you got to get this off. And since it's so bad, it just slides right off. Now, when I put new gears on, I made me a little shim here to tell me about how far to put it down. Okay, so we're gonna, when I mean put it down, I mean put the gear down. All right, so we'll put this little gear on here. Get it started. All right, got it started. I need to get me a little help. I got an old gear that I hollowed out a little bit that was broken. An old gear that was hollowed out a little bit. Let me zoom it in a little bit here. Okay, right about there. All right, and I tap, what I do is I put that gear on and I tap it down a little bit. Then I get a gear that's all wall, pretty bad shape, put it on top. And I hammer it down. Well, let me get another one. That one wasn't working too good. Where's the little gear that I have to help me do this? Oh, I picked up the wrong one. That was actually a good gear. Let's see if this is it. Yeah, this is it. This is the bad gear. Now that shoved it down there for me a little bit to get it started. Now, at this point, I take me a pair of pliers to help me put it down on there. I put my little shim on here so I don't go too far. It tells me, oh, let me move it where you can see. It tells me how far down to go. Not quite there yet. Let's take a look. That's pretty doggone close. Okay. Alrighty. I got parts and pieces everywhere now. Get the other wheel, put it back on. Just be very careful here doing this. Alright, there it is. Alright. Wheels going everywhere. Alright. Put that on its right spot. And back it back out. Okay. Alrighty. Put the coupler back on. Put the screws on to hold the motor back down. Tighten it up. Okay, tighten it up here. Now we've got to put this cover back on because you don't want the battery to be exposed to the lead right there. So we cover the lead back up. Put the two little tiny screws that are in there back in. There's one. Now for the other one. There's two. Put the battery back in. Put the cover back on. Oh, I forgot to tell you that gear that I put on that axle was a 12-tooth gear. A 12-tooth gear. So let's hear it. All right, no more skipping. Pretty good deal. All right. Thanks for watching.